Still loading. Okay, I guess we are live. So I think thank you, Swabrata, for joining today's podcast. So I think my subscribers already know about me, who I am, and all. So I think can you please start by introducing yourself, who are you, and what you've done in your career, so that our audience will understand about you a bit.
So, first of all, thank you, Tanmay, for having me today. So, I'm Shubhabrata. Nice to meet you all. And I have close to a decade and a few more years of experience, industry experience in the field of AI, machine learning, and data science. Right now, I'm associated with one of the large MNC as a data science senior manager, and I have worked with multiple large-scale organizations in various domains like pharma, retail, and FMCG to help them with their AI-based digital transformation. Right.
Hmm.
So yeah, I started my career as a data scientist, and then moved to my current role now. So yeah, happy to help you with any guidance you need related to data science today.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Swabrata, for your introduction. So Swabrata, first I wanted to ask about the industry shift. I mean, as you know, when we were in 2023, right? On that time, requirement was like machine learning, deep learning, NLP a bit. That fine. Like then you can get a good job and you can do your job in data science. But now in 2025, now ChatGPT came, Gen AI, Agentic AI, many broader terms came up, right? So, like, can you tell how this industry has shifted from 2023 to 2025 now, and how things are a bit different now, and how people should prepare for that? Because on 2023 it was a bit different, because on that time we had only till NLP. If you know, you are good, but now even till Gen AI, even now people are asking for cloud also. Should know cloud and other stuffs. So, can you please tell me how it has shifted and how people should prepare for the based on the new requirement that are coming nowadays?
Yeah, thanks, Tanmay. I think that's quite relevant question that you have asked, and actually, in fact, I want to go a bit back to answer your question. I'll rather go to 2016 when I started actually started my career in data science, right? So, if I talk about those years, so then all so my first project in data science which I did was I had to analyze data pattern or the performance of RAM, VRAM, and memory to predict how much load will be there. It's kind of a forecast we had to do. So based on that, different virtual memories will be getting allocated, right? So, and it was completely done in a machine language, and that was my first project. So that
Hmm.
was the era when we used some raw machine learning libraries
Yeah.
which had getting some good and good wrapper in today, right? So that so I still remember that project because that was at a very low level in computer
Ah,
science. There are different layers. There are system programming,
correct.
there is
Ah,
application programming. So from that era I've started my journey. I have seen that era, and then in 2019 in fact, so there was this was the era of high level programming. So then we had a
yes.
lot of wrapper of machine learning like TensorFlow, Keras, and machine
Correct.
learning was made easy. But still then it
Very
was
true.
only prediction or classification or
Yeah.
some amount of analysis of the natural data.
A raw machine learning. A raw machine learning.
It's not too raw. It's we got
But
some high level wrapper, so you
developers,
still
yeah.
didn't have to write the system level code to
Hmm.
do machine learning, but there was some
Correct.
high
Yeah.
level programming language. You could use Python, you could use Java, or to write those code. Now, if I look at today, so we are living in an area of next gen technology, and with a few days back, the GNI was hype in the market. Now we are shifting towards agentic. So the way I look at it is like it's a massive shift from where we are, 1 decade back, and today it doesn't really matter whether you can implement something, but it really matters whether you can predict what's going to be the next technology, right? So machine learning or data science or generative AI has become easy. I mean, it's not a niche job right now. It's a common man's thing, right?
Mm.
So it was a niche job before. Very few people used to write the code in machine learning, but now it's a common man's thing. It means everybody would like to write code, and they would know how to write a simple GenAI code, right? So as a
Right.
data scientist, our job is to maybe focus on more on what's going to be the next, right? And maybe we'll need to work on some advanced model, or need to work on some localized small language model, because implementation is not the challenge now. The challenge here
Ah,
today
yes.
is the, predict or work on something which is going to disrupt the industry in future.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. That's what the scenario right now. It's a bit tough than how it was before, and now it's a bit tough as per the requirements in the industry. So, yeah. So thanks, Subabrata, for the information. So, and now if we go towards a bit technical right now, like the tech stack requirements. I mean, again, when you have started your career on 2020, 2016, on that time, technology requirement was not much like nowadays. How companies are asking for it, right? So how tech stacks are different now, and how what kind of tech stacks are now very relevant for the people who are preparing for the data science roles? Can you please tell that? Because you are working in big MNC, so you know requirements of your clients and other things, so that people will come to know what they need to prepare for their job in data science.
Okay, so basically, if I talk about GenAI, so in GenAI, mainly you have to know some of the programming language like Python or R. Those are the two commonly used programming language, so that you have to be proficient with, and need to know how to play with data. So for that, you need to know those specific libraries. So I think people already know there are libraries like Pandas, NumPy. So you have to be proficient with those libraries to play with the data, because the core part of the data science, and I'd say it's 70% of the data science, is to see the pattern, understand the pattern of the data, and then predict or do something with the data, right? So that is something I'd like people to you know understand really before going for any interview, or thinking to build a career. That's the foundation. And in terms of technology, yeah, there are stuffs available over the internet even today. If you open any YouTube channel, you'll find tons of courses on the Gen AI and Gen T. Maybe you can start from basic deep learning concepts, right? CNN, RNN, and come from that you might come to transformer based thing, and that should be a good foundation to start get into Gen AI, right? And in generative AI, there are typical algorithms like retrieval augmented generation, generative adversarial network, and there are many more. These two are some example I'm giving. These two are quite widely used in the Gen AI. But and then again, it's an agentic era. So now one single use case doesn't really matter. So now what we are trying to solve is to get things together, and building some agents where one of the agent might be a retriever, one of this agent might be a action agent, which will do some performing some action. So you need to really know how to orchestrate things together using LLM. That's why we call it intelligent orchestrator, right? So you can start from machine learning, deep learning, and come into Gen AI, and then into agentic. It really depends on the pace of yours, but it doesn't has to be identical. I mean, you can design your own curriculum or your own pace, but that's the standard you know curriculum that you have to follow.
Yeah, so as you said, Gen AI, agentic AI is right now is booming everywhere. So, but still, if I say like Python, I know fine, Gen AI, agentic AI, understood. But still, knowing SQL is important now, because
Yeah,
nowadays what we
obviously.
can see, is that now your Pandas agent can build like, write a query on its own. I mean, GPT can do that, but still people are thinking that should I now need to learn SQL, or agent can do that, so I don't need to learn that. Like, what do you say about that point?
Yeah, in fact, so machine learning is not is very tightly coupled with data. I mean, I personally believe the data scientists and data engineers go hand in hand, and there is data scientists cannot do much with the data, without the
Right.
data. Sorry. So basically, learning SQL obviously will give you give you the additional advantage, right? It's not a very core thing for a data
Okay.
scientist. Basically, data scientists are supposed to build the model once the data is normalized and arranged in a particular way in a any data warehouse or something. But if you need to know SQL in terms of to understand the data, to transform, play around the data, and unveil various patterns inside the data, right? So once you start seeing those patterns, like hey, there is some correlation or there is some match is happening, then you will know what to do with this data. Because as I mentioned, right, so in the beginning, so today's challenge is not to write a code using GenAI libraries to maybe to summarize, or those things are now common man's job. Our job as a data scientist to uh, build something or to understand the future and build some advanced model, right? Maybe yet we are not able to see the future. So that is something what data scientists need to do, and for that they need to understand the modern data pattern, because the usage of the data has been changed a lot over the last decade, right? We have so many apps, we have so many open source data, we have so many logs available over the internet. So take one of those and understand how this pattern is, right?
You're right.
Who
Yeah.
knows, you will find the next idea for your AI
And
based content.
correct. That's how it is. We should think about the use case, not the just learning programming is not just the only thing that we have to do. Instead of that, using programming, if I can solve some problem that is really there in the market, I'll get a good advantage. As simple as that.
That's correct.
So yeah. So and I saw few of my subscribers have some issues. They have reached out to me regarding their upskilling journey. Okay, I mean, like now Gen AI is there, now every company is asking for Gen AI. That you have to know it. But what they're doing is that learning Python, basics Python. I mean, intermediate Python. They are learning about that. Then they are reading a basic machine learning, deep learning, basic, nothing too much maths. Then they're directly jumping to Gen AI. They are watching some YouTube tutorial, building a RAG chatbot. They're building it, putting in the resume, going for the interview, and they are getting rejected because interview is not like that. They will ask you from GenAI directly, even if it's a GenAI round, GenAI designation related job. But still, the questions that these guys are asking in the interview, that is from machine learning, from deep learning. Then it comes to GenAI thing, right? So, what do you suggest for them? How should they think about their roadmap? Because if you want to prepare for GenAI, that's good. But for that, you have to know how machine learning works, how deep learning works, and how texting works. Then GenAI concept will come up, right? So would you like to mention any proper roadmap for them? Like because they're doing this kind of mistakes, what I can see.
See, the first thing which I'll recommend to all the students, right? So where, or even the career people who are in the middle of their career, right? Who want to shift it to data science or GenAI. See, there is no shortcut, right? Don't try to take the shortcut. It's right.
Correct.
It's not a. I even say it's not a 1 month job, right? So take time. Try to understand the working principle of the model. See, I have taken many interviews in my career, and the first question when somebody say, "I know this, I know how to implement this," well, the first question I ask, do you know the core concept of this? For example, transformer, for example, BERT, for example, different models. If you don't know how that things work in the back end, what mathematical intuition is there, what statistical intuition is there, you don't know about the model, right? So
Correct.
then
Yeah.
you don't know how to implement the model, because
We are
somebody is saying,
blindly using it. We are
yeah,
blindly
so
using it. We don't
because you
knowing
will
it.
find over the internet many citations
Yeah.
where you can use this model to solve this problem. But what happens if tomorrow a new type of problem comes in? Then you don't know
Right.
which model to use, right? So basically, you need to
Right.
understand. And sorry, I forgot to mention that knowing a little bit statistics is also important
Correct. Yeah.
for machine learning engineers. And yeah, I mean, don't use the shortcut. Create a proper roadmap. As I mentioned, create a proper roadmap for machine learning, uh, deep learning, then NLP, advanced NLP, Gen AI, and then agentics. Create the roadmap. Even try to follow it. Follow it properly. Right. Even if you reach at a stage of maybe 60%, right? Make sure that 60%, whatever you have covered, you are proficient in that. Even today, we have opportunities where we don't seek a Gen AI expert. We just seek a machine learning or a deep learning expert. But then we want people to be really proficient in that, because the problem today is we everybody knows how to implement. What we expect from a data scientist is, can you tell us, or can you tell us what's next, and can you build something really meaningful for the society? That's what is expected, because whatever is there, if you just implement that, doesn't make sense for any organization.
Yeah, right. Correct. Yeah. I think that's my subscriber will understand from your point of view. And now, if I just want to discuss a bit about some experienced folks, like they're not in data science, maybe they're in sales, maybe they're in some other job, right? And now you have 10 years of more than 10 years of experience in your career, right? And you have seen, you have started growing up with data science. Now you are in this manager designation and all, right? So you see how industry grew up, right? So how do you mention about other folks who are actually coming for different background? Let's say sales and marketing people are coming from different background and they want to use data science. Now they will be learning data science from in a YouTube tutorial. That we are good. But as we know, domain is important in our designated jobs, right? Because if you know the domain, you are good. So how, as you have the experience, so can you just mention to a subscriber that how they can use their domains and data science all together to get a good job with good package and everything?
See, first of all, don't chase the package, don't chase the money, right?
Yeah.
So it's quite similar transition what people had to do when the computer came, or when the internet came. People were using working in the back office with a lot of files, and they faced challenge to adopt computers, adopt internet. So similar challenge. Now people are using computer, they don't know machine learning or data science. Now they want to use. See, AI is going to be part of our everyday's life, right? So
Right.
I'll
Yes.
recommend everybody to learn some, at least, if not the uh, core part, but some implementation of the AI. That's for everyone. I think people, that shift will happen more rapidly in future as well. You will see the change in next
Right.
3 4 years, right? So everybody need to know what AI is and how AI is affecting their day-to-day life, because even the attacks, the cyber attacks, everything is
Mm.
around AI now, right?
Right.
So the advice here is to, I mean, don't chase the package, don't go for a short-term goal. If you really have think you need to come to this domain, first understand what this domain is. Start from very basics. You have to leave behind your previous mindset. First of all, change of mindset really is important. There is no shortcut, right? You have to take your time. Everybody has different pace, maybe, which is a 6 month transition for me doesn't mean it's a 6 month transition for you. If it can be lesser, it can
Depends.
be
Yeah,
higher
depends
as well,
person to person.
it can be more as well. So
Yeah,
take the time, design your own curriculum, and I already covered the topic. So create, if you go to any, even if you use chat gpt, right, it will give you a nice curriculum, right? So
correct. Yeah,
a lot of things are available to us in today, right? Earlier, if you had to find a tutorial, you could have searched, you should have searched it over the internet and don't know whether you will find it or not. Now everything is accessible through ChatGPT. You can at least have a good idea on a particular topic using ChatGPT. Then you can dig deep using some research paper or something. But yeah, don't take the shortcut, take the long route. That will lead you to the correct destination.
yeah. I think thank you for the info. And I think I'll ask you the very last question. I don't think our subscribers have any questions. I can't see in the chat. Guys, if you have any questions, please ask because Subhabrata is here with us, so he might be able to answer your questions. So meanwhile, I have one last question, Subhabrata, for you is regarding the cloud thing because cloud now is almost must everywhere. If you have to know AWS or Azure or GCP, even I myself AWS certified person, what I can say in the companies are asking for cloud. You have to know it. You must have to know it. So, would you like to put some comments on that thing? Why suddenly it happened? Like it was not cloud was not that much important before. Now I think last 2 3 years I have seen cloud seriously came with a very popularity and people are asking for cloud. So why suddenly cloud came up into the picture so much?
See, it was there. In fact, it was there for a long time, right? It's not a new. But now, since there is a lot of data and there is a lot of applications, so the importance of doing something with the data as securely and scalably is more important, right? So if you're an organization and if you have a large data, in any ERP or anywhere, right? So you'd like to do something with the data and you have to do it scalably and securely. So you need a place to do that activity, right? And
Right.
seeing the offerings from these hyperscalers like Azure, AWS, or Google, we can definitely say that they have captured the largest part of the market. It's not
Right.
rare that some organizations still prefer using on-premise
On premise.
because there might be data security issues, right? But still, I mean, majority of the organization prefer cloud. But with AI rapidly growing, you will find new challenges in cloud as well. You will find new breaches, new problems, new cyber security issues. So, what I can say is there will be changes in the cloud as well. There will be new offerings coming in to tackle those issues, right? And see, data is something growing rapidly, and so is
Yes.
the frameworks or the offerings are. So now you need a platform to store the data, to do operate with the data, and you need security as well. So cloud is like a platform; it will be always there, right? You want to party, but you need a place to party, right? You have
Party.
people
Right.
you want to
Yeah.
party. You cannot do it on the road,
Road.
right?
Right.
There
We
will
need
be a
some
security
place.
security issue. So it will be
Right.
there, and it's a very important to know cloud as well. But yeah, some organization even prefer on-prem, but that's the business decision, right? So and even if on-prem is, see, the advantage of the cloud is uh, so the I'll say advantage of the cloud is like a share in the pie, right? So, how will you manage such large infrastructure needed to run Gen AI models? So, you need a very large infrastructure, right? If somebody is hosting that infrastructure for you and giving you at a lease price, so you will always prefer that because
Yeah.
you
We
are
can
a,
save more money.
yeah, it's not about money. You don't want that headache to set up your
Like, yeah,
own
to set up
data
infra.
center. You cannot
Right.
take the headache to set up your own data center, then manage that infra. You need a lot of manpower. That's why organizations are more going more towards cloud because nobody wants to manage those things, right? And
Right.
everybody
Yeah.
is like, there is something they're managing the infra and they're providing us with the lease, so why not use that?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. That's the really truth is going on right now. And out of the three that popular AWS, not AWS, popular cloud services, AWS, Azure, and GCP. So which one is more trending as per your point of view, and people should start learning about that cloud? I mean, because people doesn't know anything about cloud if someone is there in the industry, right? So if they want to start with any cloud, which service do you prefer for them so that they can really start their journey with the cloud? I mean,
So
which company?
it's a difficult question because both all are hyperscalers and they all have kind of similar offerings. So it depends on you what cloud you prefer. Personally, I prefer Azure and AWS. Sorry. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's a call of you. I mean, you can go through some basic offerings of those clouds, and you can see which. See, if you're asking for from the learning perspective, so I mean, whichever cloud will give you a free account, free tier account, more usage, you should go ahead with that. There's no problem. You can anytime change the to come from AWS to Azure. There is no much difference in offerings, or there is no much difference in how things work, right?
Yeah, concept wise, all are same. It's just that
Yeah. So
there are three different
it
companies are
depends
running
on
it
your choice. If you're a student, if you're a practitioner, then whoever is giving you a better deal, go with that.
with that. Yeah. So as per that way, do you say cloud engineer job is also in trend now? I mean, if people are opting for cloud engineer job, not a data scientist job, that's we know, but if they're opting for now cloud engineer roles, right? Because big companies are hiring for such roles also. So do you say that designation is also now coming in the market more?
Yeah, Tanmay, just give me 1 minute.
Yeah. Guys, if you have any question, you can ask in the chat so that Shubhabrata can answer for you. because we are almost at the end of the session. If you have any question, please ask in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your question
Mm.
was about cloud engineers, right?
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, see, the cloud engineer's job mainly is to manage all the cloud services and arrange the the correct things for data engineers and data scientists, right? So,
Yes.
yeah, it's important. Obviously, one of the school of thought is like data engineers or data scientists should also know about cloud, and they should also able to put the things together, create a DevOps pipeline or something similar. Just giving an example. So
Yeah.
but yeah, some dedicated folks to maintain those infrastructure in the cloud is definitely helpful. It's a different profile, but all this
Yes.
data engineers, the cloud engineers, data scientists job is to do things together, right? It's a different profile of the same job, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true, Subrata. Even nowadays, what we can see, companies are asking for MLOps people also. Now, in MLOps, if we see in MLOps, people are looking for someone who knows machine learning, first of all, knows cloud, because now you're, as you said, cloud is really easy to build quickly things, and that you can make it scalable also in just few clicks, right? So now companies are asking ML, cloud, any one of the cloud, and then you should know how to build a whole pipeline, like attaching DevOps on top of it. Right now, that's how came like ML ops. So now people are getting confused there. What should I do? I mean, ML, cloud, DevOps. I mean, how should I cope up with all of it?
See, now I have started seeing some requirement where
Uh,
they want people who knows data science, Gen AI,
uh,
as well as MLOps, right? Because
right. Yeah.
right now, earlier, 5 6 years back, the data scientist job was to just to develop a model, deploy that model, and the rest of the job was taken care by ops team, right? There was a
Correct.
dedicated
Yes.
team. Now this is together. That's why I say it like data scientists are also expected to know how to manage and transform the data. That's a
Right.
part of data engineer. So it's a combined requirement now, right? Because the things are changing faster, and only the implementation piece you can just do it in 5 10 minutes by just
Mm,
asking in ChatGPT. So really, so that time it took to do, it was taking to do earlier is not the time it
mm,
takes to do today. So that's why it's
right.
expected to person to know additional things, right? So when your job becomes easier, your job becomes quicker, so you are
Yeah.
also expected to do additional
There's
things.
more.
That's how
Right.
companies are looking for it. They're not looking for a person only specific to Gen AI or only specific to DevOps. They're looking something combined.
Right. Yeah, because now building pipeline or being a whole architecture, you can't build just asking to chat GPT, because it will give you a wrong output for sure. It's just that you can take a few part of it, use that knowledge and build on your own way. That's the thought process that
Yeah,
we
that's
all have to
that's
have.
imperative. In fact, if you are a GenAI architect, you need to know how to deploy your solution scalably, right? So for that,
Right.
you need to know one of the cloud, obviously, and also the on-prem if they're on-prem architecture, and for that you need to know all the cloud stuff. So in a terms, when you're creating that architecture, you need to have those knowledge as well. It's not a standalone job profile of
Right.
Gen AI, right? You cannot just say, I know Gen AI, I'll only build a model, but then how to
Yeah.
deploy the model? Because it's the biggest challenge, right? Now everybody knows how
Deploying
to
is the
build some
biggest challenge, huh? Deploying is the
build
biggest
the
challenge.
yeah, because how to deploy it scalably and securely with all
Uh,
the responsible AI things, right? Model should
right.
be free of any bias, any wrongdoings, and it should also be answerable to what output it gives. So basically, we need to
Uh-huh.
decode the model output. That's everything is there. So when you are deploying a model, when you are deploying a solution, you need to understand how you should do it scalably, securely, following responsibly. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Yeah. So I think we are almost at the end of the podcast, Shubhaprata. And I don't think our subscribers have any questions in the chat now. So, any final comments for us, for me, for others? Any final comments before we close this podcast?
Yeah, again, I'll repeat. This podcast is for aspirants, data science
Yeah.
aspirants. So uh, my only request is don't take the shortcuts, take the long route that will lead you to the correct destination. And always try to go deep into the things. Don't try to just cover for sake of covering. And there are many resources available today. You can just simply use ChatGPT or any similar AI kind of AI chatbot to answer your question in details, right? So have those questions, read about something, have those questions, and ask those questions to some AI bot or in Google or to your mentor guide or experts. And only when you get the answers of those questions, then only you know how things work, right? And it's really important to know how things work before you proceed to the next step.
Yeah, right. So I guess thank you, Swabrata, for your final comments. And our subscriber doesn't have any questions, as I can see nothing in the chat. So I think we are good to close the stream podcast. And thank you, Swabrata, for joining the
Thank you so
podcast.
much,
Have a
Tanmay, for
great
having us.
weekend. Bye.